What's going on, guys? My name is Nathan. This is the Salty Productions YouTube channel. Today we are back goldfish playtesting my Lagrella the Magpie PEDH combo deck. This deck aims to win via combo finishes using the Peregrine Drake Archaeomancer Ghostly Flicker combo. I made a whole deck tech on this deck. If you want to see all of the individual card discussions and choice rationale, I'll have that link down in the description below. You can check that out. But today we're going to see how the deck works, and we're going to see all of the decisions that will lead to that approximately turn 9 or turn 10 combo win. Before we do, I would just like to ask if you like this kind of content, leave a like on the video and subscribe. It always helps me out, and I make more Magic content like this on the regular, so you can stay tuned for more content that you might enjoy. Before we get into it, I also want to slip into something much more comfortable here. Oh yeah, there we go. Much better, feeling a lot better now that we're a little bit more thematic, making maximum use of that green screen. With our playtester, we're looking for at least 3 lands, which it looks like we drew 4 in our opener, with a preference towards hands that keep combo pieces and hands that have a lot of draw. Now, Counterspell is going to be a defensive piece. Archaeomancer is one of our combo pieces, which is excellent, and we have a piece of ramp, so this is actually quite a good opener. So we'll go ahead and get started on turn 1. One other comment I wanted to make is I'll be following in these playtests a damage schedule to simulate the pressure that combo decks tend to feel on board. So turn 3, I'll start to take 2 damage. Turn 4, take 4, and then so on for 4, 6, 6, 8, 8, and then up to 10. And this will be quote-unquote blockable damage. So if I have creatures on board and I want to block, we'll say like half of it, I can sacrifice a creature essentially as a chump blocker to mitigate some of that damage. And we also have Fogs and Life Gain to carry us through. All right, so starting out here, Cabaret Courtyard, we're going to pop for a forest, and that will go on the battlefield tapped. One thing I will note too is as I put things into the graveyard, I'm going to separate the non-instants and sorceries into the exiled bin, just because we can't get those back, but we can get back our instants and sorceries. So just to delineate those, so the exile zone is still technically in the graveyard. Turn 2, we drew another land, and I think we don't have a great turn 2 play, so I think we're just going to play another tapped land, Obscure Storefront, and we're going to grab ourselves perhaps an island off of this, although we do already have 2 islands in hand. Maybe I'll just do a forest, actually, so we'll pop that for another snow-covered forest, and we are all set for turn 3. That enters tapped. So turn 3, we're going to take 2 damage off of our opponents on board. Then we are going to, let's see, we have a turn 3 play, so I think we want to run out this island, and then we're going to tap for 3 to enchant our snow-covered island with an Overgrowth. So when that land is tapped for mana, we add 2 additional. Then we'll pass to turn 4. We'll take another 4 damage. There's probably some creatures on board assembling now for some aggro. So let's take 4 there. So we have the option to play a tapped or untapped land. We definitely, let's see, so we have a Flicker spell, an Archaeomancer, and a counter spell. I think right about now is where we would probably want to play our Commander. We do have 5 mana up, so I think what we'll do is we'll play the Plains, and then we will cast Lagrella with nothing being exiled under her as a removal spell to assume that we take, let's just reset the damage table actually. That will be kind of a good proxy, so we'll just take off their best thing. And for that will require tapping 2 forests. And unfortunately, we do tap this island. I didn't know what our turn 4 play would be. Otherwise, I would have maybe enchanted the forest differently. So anyway, you take some and you lose some here. And then, so we can't cast that counter spell, which is the importance of that. So let's then play our, let's see, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana available here. And we do have a Flicker spell. So we can, I think we'll plan to play Seagate Oracle and then hold up Planar Incision. So we're going to need to play this island here. And then for the Seagate Oracle, we're going to tap, let's see, Island, Plains, and a Forest. So when this enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom. So we're going to dig for 2 here. So we have Salvager of Secrets. And I think we don't need the Salvager quite yet, although it would be nice fodder to have in our hand. And I think we already probably wiped some good threats off the board with Lagrella. So I'm kind of leaning towards the Salvager of Secrets here, because then we can play the Archaeomancer and bring back the Planar Incision to then trigger this again. So I think what we're going to do is take the Salvager and Essence Ward, and we'll go on the bottom, and we're going to accomplish that via a shuffle. So now we are going to cast, we're probably going to assume that somebody tries to remove Lagrella. The question is, do we hold the blink spell, Planar Incision, for Lagrella or Seagate Oracle? And I think we would want to just hold that up just to see if Lagrella's removed. We would flicker Lagrella and put Seagate Oracle under it. But if not, then we would flicker the Seagate Oracle itself, although we do plan on getting that back. So I'm going to assume that we can flicker Lagrella because she tends to take a lot of hate at the table. So we will tap for a total of 3 mana, I suppose, because we have to tap with the Overgrowth to flicker Lagrella, and we'll put Seagate Oracle underneath Lagrella there in order to save Lagrella from a potential removal spell, and also put Seagate Oracle under her so we can return it back to our hand and flicker again. All right, so turn 6, we're going to restart our damage schedule here. This time I think we're just going to take 4, so I'm going to follow from here from turn 4 our damage schedule. So let's take 4 damage. We're down to 20. Let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We are going to play our, let's see, Terramorphic Expanse and crack it for an island that will enter tapped, and that will come into play tapped here. Then I think with our 7 mana, we actually probably want to play the Salvager of Secrets because it is 5 mana and we can save the Archaeomancer for that 4 mana combo play. So we'll take Salvager of Secrets back to our, and then return, Planar Incision back to our hand here. And that will cost us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. And let's tap it. Oh, that does take double blue actually. So we can't use all of our blue because we don't have enough blue. Okay, well that's a little bit awkward. So let's actually cast the Salvager of Secrets, and then we do get this back to our hand. But is there another way we can do this? I think no. I think it has to be. We're just a little bit low on blue mana there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now we are free to block with the Salvager of Secrets. So I think we're going to block 1 creature coming in from our opponents, and I'm going to assume we probably take another, let's say 4 off of the turn cycle there, and Salvager will go into the graveyard. Okay, so now we have a fog effect here, and this will be able to take us through it'll be a nice life gain boost in the late game here. So we have to reserve some mana to play the Blunt the Assault. So we're going to play the Broker's Hideout and crack it for another island. So that will come into play tapped right here. Then we are free with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana to, let's see, I think we want to continue to flicker Lagrella, and I think we're going to save up our mana here for Blunt the Assault. So I'm going to assume, let's see, let's do this. So we're going to do this all at instant speed, but for the purposes of playtesting, we're going to play it on my turn. But essentially, I'm going to play Planar Incision. So we flicker Lagrella, take off the best thing off of the battlefield again. Seagate Oracle gets flickered, and we'll put it back under Lagrella. So we will get the Seagate Oracle's ETB, which says look at the top 2, put one of them in our hand and the other on your graveyard. And this is exactly what we want. So Tamiya's Epiphany goes into our hand, and then we put this on the bottom and accomplish that by hitting the shuffle button. This goes into the graveyard, and then so that took us, let's see, 1, 2 mana. Then we do have options now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we hold up our counterspell and also Blunt the Assault. So I'm just going to assume that we pop the counterspell for something, and that will take up our 2 blue there, and then Blunt the Assault in the same turn, perhaps, to gain 1 life for each creature on the battlefield and prevent all combat damage. So that will mitigate our next damage on our upkeep. And then we will gain, I'm going to assume we gain, I don't know, like 8 life, I think is a pretty conservative assumption there. So then we'll go to turn turn 8, having, again, only one piece of the combo, unfortunately. So let's continue drawing some cards. Let's tap for 1 blue, and then we need 2 green, and we'll use another green for Tamiyo's Epiphany on turn 8. Scry 4, then draw 2 cards. So we'll scry 4 here. All right, so Drift of Phantasms is great. We definitely want to draw this one because this can search for our Ghostly Flicker. And then let's see, I think we actually want to maybe grab Seal of Removal, I'm actually thinking, because then we can return Lagrella back to our hand so that to trigger the Seagate Oracle. So I think we're going to draw that at the risk of not having enough lands in our hand. So then this, oh, I'm sorry, these will go on the bottom, which will accomplish via shuffling. And then this will go to our graveyard, and that costs us, let's see, so that's 4 mana. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So I think what we do is we play our Coiling Oracle, and then we tutor with our Drift of Phantasms, which we do have enough blue mana to accomplish here. So let's play the Coiling Oracle first in case we get a land. Reveal the top card. If it's a land, put it on the battlefield. It is not, so we will put this into our hand. So this is a good win con with infinite mana. So we've got our 4th piece of the combo here, but we're just waiting on that Peregrine Drake or Cloud of Fairies. So Coiling Oracle will enter, and then we will, for 3 mana here, on an opponent's turn, we will transmute Drift of Phantasms to search for a Ghostly Flicker. So we are just missing that one piece of combo. This will go into our exile zone. All right, and now we go to turn 9. Now, I think for our opponent's turn, we're going to assume that we take perhaps 8 damage for the turn cycle. So let's go down to 16. There, we're going to draw. Okay, so we got Soul's Attendant, so that's not bad. So, and we've got a few options. So what I'm thinking is we're still holding the Archaeomancer. It would be nice to actually send this back to our hand, Tamiyo's Epiphany, that is, back to our hand by playing the Archaeomancer, but then having a Seal of Removal in play first in case it does get targeted. Alternatively, we could play Goliath Paladin to get the initiative to pull a basic out of our deck and play it. And Soul's Attendant, we definitely want to be gaining some life. Given how far we are into the game, we need some extra life gain. And of course, with Ghostly Flicker, we can, let's see, so if we... Actually, maybe the best play here is to play Seal of Removal and use all of our blue pips. We can play Seal of Removal. We can Ghostly Flicker Lagrella to get the Seagate Oracle ETB and Coiling Oracle. And then we can play the Archaeomancer to then send the Ghostly Flicker back to our hand, and we would have Seal of Removal as a backup option to then return it to our hand. So I think that's a pretty powerful play pattern here, and that's going to take 4, 5, plus 3. Let's see, so that's 8 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have enough for the Soul's Attendant. So let's go ahead and do that. So Soul's Attendant, then we go Seal of Removal, which will peep on the left here, so that's an island. Then we will Ghostly Flicker using this, let's see, mana right there. So Ghostly Flicker, we're going to target Lagrella to pull the best thing off of the battlefield again. And then we're going to put under it, let's see, I think, so Seagate Oracle gets us better card selection, but Coiling Oracle will put lands onto the field, and I think we actually want to keep Seagate Oracle under Lagrella. So let's actually Ghostly Flicker Lagrella and put Seagate Oracle under her again. So we'll get the Seagate Oracle trigger and then the Coiling Oracle trigger, and we'll stack the Coiling Oracle trigger. Actually, no, we'll do the, yeah, it doesn't, probably the Coiling Oracle trigger first, although it doesn't really matter. That will go to graveyard. Let's do the Seagate Oracle trigger first. So look at the top 2. Oh, excellent. We've got Displace, so we've got a backup, and then Avenging Hunter for another initiative. I think we put in Displace to our hand, and then the other one goes on the bottom, I believe. So that will go there, and we'll accomplish that with the Shuffle button. And then we have a Coiling Oracle trigger to resolve. So this is not a land, so that will go into our hand. All right, and then in Sorcery Speed main phase 2, we're going to play the Archaeomancer with our last blue pips, so we're all tapped out. And then we will send back to our hand. I think we probably can just send our Tamiyo's Epiphany back to our hand instead. instead. Although I think it's, oh man. Okay, so between a Tammy's Epiphany and Ghostly Flicker, the Ghostly Flicker, we do get the Coiling Oracle and Seagate Oracle trigger again. But I think Tammy's Epiphany, we just dig deeper, and I think we're pretty desperate for digging right now. So let's do that. Let's keep it like that. Okay, and then with this protection piece up, I think we probably have to assume that we pop it to send our Archaeomancer back to our hand, just because, assuming that is recognized as a combo piece, somebody will try to target it as a first line of defense. So then, Soul's Attendant on our opponent's turns will assume that we gain 6 life, and then for our damage we take on our upkeep, I'm going to assume we take another 8 damage, putting us down to 14. Then we go to our next turn. Okay, so we've got a flicker and a draw. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. 9 cards. Okay, 9 lands. So Tammy's Epiphany for sure. That means we have 5 left. We can play Blur, and then we can also play our Relic of Progenitus and crack it to exile the graveyards and draw cards. So maybe that's the move. I think we do need maybe a blocker though. So if we play Goliath Paladin, we can ramp out a basic, and then we just play Tamiyo's Epiphany, I'm thinking, or we hold up Blur. Although 5 CMC is a little awkward with our amount of mana that we have. That would leave 4 mana up, so I guess we could Tammy's Epiphany off of that. I think we want to probably play a blocker with Goliath Paladin. Let's pull out a base. Oh, no, I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to continue to dig because we need probably 1 or 2 more turns to get the Drake or Cloud of Fairies. So maybe we just dig as much as we possibly can here. So I think we go Tammy's Epiphany. We're going to tap green, 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 blue to scry 4, then draw 2. Okay. Soul Warden, let's draw that. And then we also want to probably the Capsize, actually. Probably the Capsize. Yeah, I think we want to send these to the bottom. So we'll draw Capsize and Soul Warden, and then shuffle to send those to the bottom. Then we are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we play the Soul Warden and the Relic, and then we hold up Blur to then flicker, I think, Lagrella again to take the best thing off the battlefield on our opponent's turn. And I'm going to probably chump block with the Coiling Oracle for damage for our opponent's turn. So let's target the Blur on an opponent's turn. That will take up all, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so exile. So this resolves first to draw a card, more counter spells, and then we will flicker the Lagrella and put Seagate Oracle back underneath, and we will get the Seagate Oracle trigger. So look at the top 2, put 1 into our hand and the other into our bottom of the library. So we'll take an Ephemerate, put that on the bottom, and then we will go next. So with both Soul's Warden and Soul's Attendant, we're going to assume we gain 12 and probably take like 10. So let's just keep our life total the same, just to assume that they, because our board is looking pretty weak, and we might not, we might be able to convince our opponents to have mercy, so to speak. Well, let's just assume that we actually block something with the Coiling Oracle, and then we would go into next turn. All right. Okay, folks, we are getting a little bit desperate by turn 11, still looking to dig as much as we can. So our counter spells I'm going to keep all the way on the left here. We've got our Displace. I think if we go, maybe we actually are forced to cast the Capsize for a raw buyback without actually comboing with it. And Ephemerate, of course, will flicker our Lagrella. So let's actually do that. So we're going to Ephemerate Lagrella, get the Seagate Oracle trigger, and then this will go, we'll just put it in the top right here. So we will get the Seagate Oracle trigger, Llanowar Visionary, and Cloud of Fairies. Boom. All right, so Llanowar Visionary will go on the bottom, I believe. So we'll shuffle that. That will go into our hand. All right, so perfect. So that cost us 1 white. So do we have the combo here? So Cloud of Fairies, Archaeomancer is going to cost, so Archaeomancer and Displace will cost a total of 7, and Cloud Fairies will refund itself, but we do need the extra mana to be able to do that. So do we have a total of 9 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are we one short? Seriously, are we one short? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, no. We can do it. We can do it. Okay. So we are ready to combo off here. We'll move our combo pieces to the right so you can see how this will work. So we will tap our, let's see. So we'll float a total of 1 mana by tapping these 2 lands, and which will add 4 total to our mana pool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we will play the Cloud of Fairies, and we'll untap, let's see, 2 lands. So that took 2, so we're floating 2 right now. Then we are going to play our Archaeomancer, returning any spell. So that would take 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just take back our, I don't know, Ghostly Flicker, I suppose, just to have a backup on its ETB. And then we can use our 2 floating mana and an additional to then play Displace, targeting the Archaeomancer and Cloud, or I'm sorry, we would tap mana then in response to the Displace to then target the Cloud of Fairies and Archaeomancer. The Displace will resolve and go to our graveyard, and then Archaeomancer's ETB will resolve. We will return it back to our hand, and Cloud of Fairies will untap 2 lands, giving us an infinite supply of mana. And from there, we actually cast our Goliath Paladin with infinite mana, and then we can switch from targeting the Cloud of Fairies with Displace to then targeting Archaeomancer and Goliath Paladin, and use up essentially all of our infinite mana to then flicker Goliath Paladin an infinite number of times. And so as we go through, we need, so we get the initiative, and then we go through the Undercity, which is going to trigger the 3rd room on the left there, Trap, so that target player loses 5 life, and we will activate that an infinite amount of times with an infinite amount of Goliath Paladin's ETBs. Okay, so that was a win by turn 11, which I think is pretty decent, pretty on par for this deck. We're going to do one more Goldfish just to see if we can do a little bit better than that. So we are starting off here with 3 mana. We've got a Tutor piece, although we already have our Archaeomancer in our hand. We've got a Dig piece and a Flicker piece. So let's go ahead and start us off here in turn 1. So we're going to play an Island, and then we will pass the turn. Then we're going to play our Command Tower. And do we have a turn 2 play? I don't think so, because this is Wizard Cycling 3. We're going to pass Aroni. Then we're going to play our Island. Now we don't have the mana necessary to cast Lagrella, which we probably don't want to at this point in time anyway. But we can cast that Chrome Courier, reveal the top 2 cards of your library, put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So we'll reveal the top 2. We will put Tammy's Epiphany in and Frantic Search in our graveyard, and then this sits on the battlefield as a blocker. Next, I think we're going to go to turn 4. So with our damage schedule here, I think we're going to assume that the 1/1 flyer will dissuade some attacks, so I'm going to probably just not log any damage for this particular turn. Then we will go to play our land. So on turn 4, we've got 4 land, and I would like to probably play Eureka Moment just to see if we can ramp us out a little bit more. So on an opponent's turn, we will play our Eureka Moment to draw 2 cards, and then you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So we will draw 2 cards, and we can play our Tranquil Landscape, and then we will immediately crack it for probably a forest is what I'm thinking. So let's tutor up our forest and put that on the battlefield tapped during our opponent's turn. This goes to our graveyard. We'll go next to turn 5. All right, we're doing good on lands, and we're going to assume that maybe we I'm going to assume that we probably wouldn't block with the Chrome Courier because we want to flicker it. So I'm going to just take, let's say, like 2 damage on turn. No, let's do 4 actually on turn 5. Okay, so we've got a counter spell. I'm going to put this all the way in the back as defense. We've got our Drift of Phantasms, so we can tutor up our Ghostly Flicker to get 2 of our combo pieces So with the Ghost Flicker Commander, then we're waiting for Cloud of Fairies and Peregrine Drake. So I think here we probably want to probably tutor out our Ghostly Flicker. So Drift of Phantasms, we're going to tutor for that, and that will go into the graveyard. And then also on our main phase, we are going to play our Elvish Visionary, I believe, to draw a card and be a nice little blocker. Okay, Merchant Scroll's another tutor for us. That's decent. All right, so let's go next turn. So I'm going to assume we probably block with the Elvish Visionary to avoid taking damage, but I think we still probably take 4 from an aggressive opponent. Okay, Simic Growth Chamber is decent. Let's see. So let's plan out our mana here. We probably, so what we want to do is play the Simic Growth Chamber, but it's going to send a land back to our hand. I think if we continue, if we went to our cleanup step to discard, we would have to discard, we'd probably discard the Vidalkin, and then probably in our Flicker of Fate or Arcane Denial. So let's do this. Let's do our Simic Growth Chamber. We'll return our forest, but we'll tap it in response. We're going to float 1. Then, so let's play Lagrella for green, a white, and a blue. So that's going to take some heat off of the board. We're going to exile the Chrome Courier with Lagrella, and then with our remaining... Oh, no, I need the white. I don't have the white mana to do that. Shoot. Shoot, I was going to flicker it. Okay. Maybe we hold up Arcane Denial and we draw a card off of Arcane Denial. Okay, so let's do that. So let's just move to cleanup step. We'll hold up the 2. So that's, let's see. So 9 cards here. We have to discard 2 cards. So we'll discard the Vidalcan Aether Mage. And we'll also discard the Merchant Scroll because we already have it in our hand. And then we will blow our counterspell on an opponent's turn. And then we'll draw a card. Okay. So we have, let's see, so we need to keep digging here, and then for our damage, I think we'll just plan on taking, like, I don't know, 6. That seems reasonable. Okay, so now we can drop our forest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We do have some raw card draw with Lorien Revealed. Tammy's Epiphany will cost 4, plus Ephemerate is 5. And then we can hold up a Flicker spell for defense to also flicker Chrome Courier, so let's do that. So do I have the... I need 2 white mana for this, unfortunately. Good lord. Okay, so we can only have 1 flicker. So let's actually main phase play Lorien Revealed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will cast that to draw 3. Okay, so Heliod's Pilgrim, we can get to the Cloud of Fairies combo. 1 white. Okay, so then I think what we do is we probably just flicker Lagrella on our turn 7 on our opponent's turn to then get the Chrome Courier, ETB, and then take permanents off of the board. That will go to our graveyard, so we'll get the Chrome Courier, ETB, put 1 into our hand. Oh, and then also I want to discard, by the way, before we do this, because this would be on an opponent's turn, so we'd actually discard down to 7. And for that, I'm going to discard this Generous Ent, essentially being a land. So let's do Brainstorm. Yeah, because we just need to be cycling as much as we physically can. So that will end our turn then. And then we go to next turn. Okay. So we really need, oh, here we go, the tutor for Cloud of Fairies. Okay, so let's play the planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we play Heliod's Pilgrim, that's going to take us down to 5 mana. Then we play the Overgrowth for 3. That takes us down to 2, but it adds 2 additional, so that's 4. Then we can... Okay, so we don't have the combo this turn, so we're going to assume we probably take another, like, 10 damage on our upkeep. And I think we just need 1 more turn, essentially, to get the combo here. So the way this will work... Do I have the necessary colors here? Yeah, so let's play Heliod's Pilgrim. We're going to go white... green, and a, let's see, we need probably a green, blue. We're floating a blue right now. We're floating a blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Floating a blue. So Heliod's Pilgrim will enter. We will look for Overgrowth. Then using the blue, and then I guess a green and a blue. We're going to go Overgrowth onto this island, and then we will tap this mana to then transmute our Muddle the Mixture to look for Cloud of Fairies. So Muddle the Mixture will go into our graveyard, and then we can block and do whatever we need to do with Lagrella. This might be one of those games where it comes down kind of to the wire because we're only at 6 life here. But then I think we would have 1 green up, which we couldn't use. But we'll assume that Lagrella has to go to the command zone from blocking. We'll get the Chrome Courier, ETB. And then let's see. So reveal the top 2. I think we would probably just want to put the Unexplained Vision into our hand from that ETBing, and then that goes in our graveyard. And then next turn, we could then combo here. So we have the, so we would want the Cloud of Fairies once again, and then we would go, so we would tap our lands, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it enters, and we untap this, and we use 2 of that, so we're floating 3 off of that ETB, and then we are going to play the Archaeomancer, targeting anything, and then, so it's going to use up 3 plus our additional 4, and then we can Ghostly Flicker for infinite mana. So now that we've got the combo on the field, do we have a win in hand? So with infinite mana, which I'm just going to keep these cards kind of off to the left over here, we'll actually kind of move it like so. We have infinite mana, and we have infinite Chrome Courier ETBs. So what I think we can do is essentially we're going to just do a Chrome Courier ETB until... Oh, wait, no. Archaeomancer... Let me think about this. Yeah, because Archaeomancer would just send Ghostly Flicker back to the hand either way, and we would continue to flicker the Chrome Courier. So we're just going to put Treasure Cruise. We're just going to keep going. Here we go, Goliath Paladin, and then with infinite mana we can cast the Goliath Paladin, getting the Undercity triggers once again to close out the game. So that is Lagrella the Magpie combo flicker, everybody. That was a win by turn 9. So we generally win between turns 9 and 11 here. And I didn't draw any life gain in particular in this match. And I think that, again, our kind of assumptions for health clock are reasonable. So that is the deck, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's really hard to make these decisions sometimes, making sure you're tapping like an adult, making sure that you are defending with necessary blockers, etc., etc. So that's the deck once again. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content like this. I produce Magic content all the time, so tune in for more of that. And with that, I will wrap up the video. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you all in the next one.